my question is, do we really turn into our parents? And the reason that I brought this question up is because I know a lot of the viewers and listeners are familiar with the Progressive commercials. You know, the guy that comes on and he's teaching the kids how not to be their parents.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the funniest one that I remember is he held up his cell phone and he was telling them, he was like, "Hey, this is where you silent your phone." And then the lady said, "She said, I don't have that." He said, "Everybody has it." So I thought that was the funniest thing, man. But
Yeah.
I think about it and I'm like, we kind of do turn into our parents.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, going back to that commercial, that those commercials are hilarious to me, and I think it's the one where it's the one that's like really funny to me. It's two of them. One where the guy is standing with like two other guys, and he was like, we all see it," and then it's like somebody with blue hair or something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
and that
yeah. I
was
know which one
funny.
you're talking about.
Yeah, and then the other one that's just hilarious to me is what this guy, he's trying to help someone back out of a parking spot. And
Uh huh.
I just thought that was so funny, you know, so little things like that. Yeah, I could think about how, yeah, for sure, I've turned into my parents on, you know. I can think about, I never really used to be a cook or whatever and
Yeah.
stuff, but my stepdad, he cooked a whole lot. And so I noticed that, you know, now I do some of that stuff. I cook way more than what I used to or whatever stuff. And then, you know, I think about the plenty of the conversations I had with me and my dad, and I can see myself having those same conversations with my son, saying it the same way, in
Mm-hmm.
the same tone or whatever and stuff. So yeah, I've noticed things like that. And then even with my mom, you know, just, you know, I can think of plenty of sayings that my mom used to say coming up. And like, if I were to say some of them, you know, since we're from the South, if you're not from the South, you may say, well, what in the world does that mean? But like, we know what it means. And I've
Yeah.
said stuff to my kids and they'll kind of like look at me like, what does that mean? That's like, you know, and you have to explain it, you know, but
Uh huh.
it's just, yeah, we definitely, I think we do, because we're a product of, you know, I guess our environments and what we see, you know, like I was talking about before, you know, you modeling the behavior, you know, our parents are modeling behavior to us. We're
Yeah.
modeling behavior to us, you know, whether they thought so or not. The same way with me, I'm modeling some type of behavior to my kids, and they'll either pick it up or they won't. But yeah, we
Absolutely.
definitely turn into our parents
Yeah. And
in some aspect.
the guy's name is actually Dr. Rick. That's
Okay.
the guy's name. That is the parental life coach. Man, it's just hilarious, man. I love those commercials. Um, One thing that I feel like I picked up from my dad is my dad is like a perfectionist.
Okay.
Like, I kind of like shy away from it some just so I don't get like super stressed out about it. So I try not to think about it. And like when you kind of get stressed out about things being perfect, I just kind of have to like remove myself from the situation
Okay.
altogether so I
Okay.
don't get too frustrated. So I guess you could say like my dad has a little OCD. So like he'll be sitting at the kitchen table and like say you have your drink there and you kind of like left it there, but you still kind of drinking it or whatever. But
Uh-huh.
he kind of like moves it with the napkin and make sure everything is like perfectly lined up.
Yeah.
He'll do that like with remotes and like pens. They have to be like perfectly lined up and straight. And oh my goodness, me and my brother, we're the same way. I mean,
Yep.
we are like, we just got it honest, man. Like, I'm not like, I, I, I don't know, like, I guess Shanika probably would say like I'm maybe a neat freak sometimes. But yeah, like stuff just has to look right, man. Like I can't stand it if it's not looking right.
Yeah.
And like my dad, if he goes into somewhere and a picture is on the wall and it's not straight. Oh my goodness.
Does he go and try to tilt the picture or whatever stuff?
He would, man. He would. Like, he can control himself. Like, if he knows that, like, okay, you at a restaurant or something. He like, you see that up there? That's not supposed to be like that. You know, like, man, I'm telling you, like, even when he gets like, he's been like the general contractor over a lot of projects or whatever, and like, you know, he subs out work and get things done. So he always has to have somebody that knows exactly what he's doing. He can't stand having somebody working on something and they don't know what they're doing, and produces jackleg work. He cannot stand it, man. I'm telling you.
I understand that.
He will not sacrifice the price for the quality. He will never do that, and that's kind of stuck with me as well. And another thing he will say, and I catch myself saying it all the time to Shanika. You know how you're doing something and somebody says something to you and you don't really agree with what they're saying, and you heard what they said clearly, but then he'll say like, "Do what?" He'll say, "Do what?" But he knows what they said, but he just didn't agree with what they were saying. Like,
yeah.
Tell me why, man. Shanika will be telling me something, or she'll be yelling downstairs, and I'm like, "Do what?" And I was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm turning into my dad."
Yeah,
Turning into
yeah,
my dad, but I don't get mad about it, man. It's all good. You know, we just getting older, man, and we got the kids. We put in similar situations as our parents, man,
That's
and
right.
we turn into them.
That's
It's
right.
what it is.
So what about your mom? Do you see yourself like certain things that your mom has done that you kind of picked up too?
Yeah, I feel like with my mom, like, all right, well, my mom, she's a nice lady. She knows how to tell you what you're doing wrong and say it in a nice way. I'm always like cautious of how people feel or how people take my message that I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of feel like I kind of get that from her too.
Okay.
But just being like headstrong, like, and you have told me this before, but you was like, "Kid, if somebody ever tries to get you to do something and you don't want to do it," he said, "you will not do it.
That's
I
a
mean,
fact.
you can wait until it's nighttime the next day, 3 weeks from now. If kids say he's not gonna do it, he's not gonna do it."
Not doing
And
it.
and in particular, where you really learned that from was when we used to play Monopoly all the time. We would
Yeah.
play Monopoly. If you were trying to sell me a bad trade, and you used to always try and trade some property or something that will put the game and shift the game into your power, and I see it from a mile away, and I'm saying, "Nope, we're not gonna trade. Let's just keep on rolling. Let's keep
Yeah.
on."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
that you,
I
yeah.
get that from my mom though, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
definitely. And my grandpa, my
Okay.
grandpa, yeah, he was definitely like that, man. It was, he believed in what he believed in, and that was it. No
Well, no
going
change
back.
in your
No
mind.
changing. No changing.
But you respect that though. You
Yeah.
respect that. So I definitely respect that. I've told you before that if you ever tell me you did something, I know nobody convinced you to do it. You did it because you wanted to do it. That's just the way I've always looked at it with you. So
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
All right. Well, we wanna know some of your examples of, how you've turned into your parents, our listeners and viewers. We've gotten a few comments from some of our other videos, and it's really fun and exciting to talk about it. So you go ahead and put those comments in there.